Thank you very much, Fraser. Aren't you a hard man to get hold of?
No, no, no. Do you know what it is? I'm just that busy. Like, look. If you look around me,
Yeah.
I've come to Sheffield now to camp, but I'm sick of lugging. I've got clothes everywhere. Clothes at home, at my
Right.
house, clothes at my mum's house, clothes in Sheffield. So I'm trying to
Right.
have a sort out. If you look around me, it's
Okay.
just pure madness going on. I'm trying to have a sort out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. IKEA comes in handy. I recognise
So
those containers.
yeah, yeah. I literally just come from there.
Oh, right. Okay. They're letting people in now, or is it click and collect?
Yeah, on click and collect
Mm,
in the
brilliant.
car park.
It's all right. What you sort yourself out? Don't worry about it.
No, go on. We can carry on. I can multitask. Good.
Well, just thank you very much for coming on to October Red interviews. As you know, I've
No
got a new
worries.
channel that I'm set up, looking to speak to all of those people involved in boxing, from amateur to pro boxers, Olympians
Hmm.
like yourself, which is a great honour and privilege to speak to somebody like yourself that's going into the Olympics, coaches, trainers, cornermen. I just want to speak to all people involved in boxing. So thank you very much for giving
No,
me
it's
this
good.
opportunity.
It's not a problem. I'm sure you'll have a lot more people, to speak to, and I hope everyone, fully gets behind you and, gives you the time of day because that's what it's about.
I appreciate that. As a fellow Midlands person yourself, you can't knock that support. But just going back to yourself then, because on this channel, it's not about me, it's about you, the boxer. We know where you're heading and we'll come to where you're going in a bit. But I like to go back.
Hmm.
I know that you may have given interviews before, you've spoken to loads of different people. And I kind of like apologize a little bit for that if you feel like you're going over some old ground. But I like to get to know who I'm
No, no,
speaking
no, it's
to.
good.
So, yeah, I just want you to take me back to how Frazer Clarke got involved in boxing.
Yeah, so if we're going right back, it just I was in like junior school, head up to high school.
Hmm.
I was overweight. I was a little bit soft, and I wanted to learn, to look after myself. I wanted to lose a bit of weight, gain a bit of confidence and whatnot. I think my brother was in the high school. He was having a bit of, a few a few fisticuffs with people and whatnot. So I thought, I need to go over there and back him. But then, like I say, I tell everyone I've tried every sport going. I was just one of them people.
Yeah.
Um, I never really found something, like nothing that clicked for me. And then
Mm.
I went to the boxing club one time. Obviously, family and everything. My dad was a boxing fan, a very strong pride man. Can look after himself. So, naturally, I think he wanted me to be, to be able to. This was the sport that he wanted me to be good at, and lucky enough, he took me there. He took me down the boxing club.
Yeah.
He'd been down there. He'd been down there like years and years before. Not competitively, but he knew everyone involved.
Yes.
So and then within a few weeks, like I know it's a bit cliche to say, what I found my thing, but
Yeah.
yeah, honestly, I just found it just clicked for me. Do you know what I mean? So I just found my passion and my love. So it was good.
Mm. So, how old was you at that time?
I was 11.
11. Okay. So, talk
Yeah,
us through that
yeah.
then. You get down to the gym, your dad's took you down there, you found like your home. This is what you want to do. Talk us through what happened then throughout the years until obviously you turn amateur, and then to where we are today.
Yeah, so I'm from a small town, me, Burton on Trent. It's only a small place, but
Yeah.
I'd say boxing wise, we've always produced a few good fighters and whatnot. So,
Mm.
at the time this was unknown to me, but I've gone into that club and, not just boxing, but I think this is like one boxing for me has done more than just teach me, how to be a boxer. It's
Yeah.
just the life lessons and stuff like we went into that club and there was all different races, all different backgrounds, all different,
Yeah.
people from all walks of life.
Yeah.
And that's why there's not many people, like me. I can go to any area in my town, and I know people from the boxing club. I can
Mm.
walk onto traveller sites and I've got respect because I've got friends there. I can go to the Asian community, the Indian community, the African lads. Like they're just boxers to me, or people that I've seen in the club. So I think that's one of the best things that I've got out of the sports, man. It's opened me up to all backgrounds, and there's no prejudice or racist from me because I grew up in them conditions. You know what I mean? So that's one thing that I really do thank boxing for, because I know a lot of people have a lot of hate towards other people, races and cultures and whatnot. But nah, when you've been brought up in this sport, you just learn to look at people for what they are. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's all.
So and that's what I love. So yeah, started boxing. It was difficult to get about because obviously I was really big. I was heavy.
Yeah,
There's obviously you have to go on the age and the weight and stuff. So there was no one about. But
right.
I think I carried on training because obviously I just fell in love with the place and the smells of the gym, the culture, the people that were there.
Yeah,
I used to look up to a lot of people there. My coaches became like my parents.
yeah,
So by the time I was 14, I started competing, and then I think I had like one or two fights, and then it was a big pause. There was nothing else going on, and then I had to wait for the championships. I managed to get one fight in the championships, and then I won the junior ABAs
hmm,
after about 3 or 4 fights.
yeah,
And then I got the call up to England, so I boxed for England, and that was brilliant. Great experience. Met the first time I'd pretty much left the town properly. I
yeah,
started meeting people. I started meeting Scoutsers, Geordies, mad people, from all around different these kids,
mm,
and I'm thinking, right, I'm a little town boy, and these were from the big city, and they were all
mm,
nuts. I can remember being on training camp, and they didn't know, they had no fear, no rules. They were just proper good lads and a great laugh. So I went to Ireland, boxed for England. That was great.
hmm,
Come back. I was just about by this point. I've got to the stage where I'm just about leaving school.
yeah,
Um, obviously you're leaving school. Your parents are like, you need to get some qualifications and get a trade behind you. That's very
yeah,
much like the way things go. From
yeah,
where I'm from. So I did as best I could. I got myself an apprenticeship in engineering.
yeah,
Um, I didn't really like it, but I think it kept my parents happy. The fact that I wasn't just bumming it, and I was
yeah,
was trying to do something. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
I did that for like a year, but during that year I got the GB trial. So I got obviously at this time, it was just a bit of a, oh, you got a trial for GB, but it didn't mean the world to me. Do you know what I mean? It was like
mhm,
I wasn't confident in myself anyway. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't run half a mile. I couldn't do 10 press ups. So I was just thinking, we'll go there. It's the experience. It'll be a good laugh and whatnot. Um, I came for my trial. I'd like to say the rest is history, but yeah, I managed to. I think it was about this time, probably like 10 or 12 super heavyweights, all grown men, and I was just like just turned 17.
okay,
Um, and then I got the letter through the post saying we'd like to invite you to the full-time squad. And I was thinking, what? This is crazy. So obviously then I've got to go and like say to the parents, look, I've been offered this, full
yeah,
time. I
yeah,
think I think they were a bit hesitant because they didn't really understand where it was going. Do you know what I mean? So they would have liked me to stay in like the education and the apprenticeship route of getting my
yeah,
qualifications and getting my papers and getting a
yeah,
trade. But I didn't really like it anyway, so I was like, forget that. I said, I'm going to grab this with both hands. You know what I mean? I'm
yeah,
going to jump on it. So then I jumped on that, and I've been in Sheffield ever since. Like, obviously, everyone knows I've trained with the big guys, the best of them, the rest of them, all of them.
mhm,
It hasn't. I won't say. I was going to say it hasn't quite worked out for me yet, but it has. It's been the best 10 years of my life.
yeah, yeah,
11 years even. I've met amazing people, been amazing places. I've got the best memories from all around the world. And before I got into this squad, I think I'd been on a plane once. Do you know what I mean? So
mm,
this has just opened all the doors for me. I've been all around the world with great people.
yeah,
I've competed. I've done well. Um, I've probably fallen short a couple of times. Maybe there's been times where I was a little bit unfocused and stuff, and possibly living the wrong life outside of GB and outside of
okay,
Sheffield. So it probably slowed me down a bit. But you know, I feel like everyone has a certified time in life that's
Yeah.
aligned for them, and I feel like this is my now. You know, I've got my stuff together. I'm working hard. I'm focused,
Mm,
and I want to go to the Olympics and do well.
mm. So it's gone from, you wanted to stick up for yourself, going into big school, to you ending up going for trials for, Team GB, which is a dream to most, but you've done it. You mentioned that you've been doing it for the last 10 years, since you were 17, and now I presume that you're 27 and you're walking
No,
towards
it's
the.
longer. It's what I'm saying. I say 10 years. It's actually longer than that because I came here to 2009, 2010, and I'm
Okay.
29 now. So it's long. It's longer than that. Even.
Oh,
Do you know what I
right,
mean?
it's 12.
That's how
Yeah,
mad
it's
it
12
is.
years then, isn't it?
It's like a 12th year now. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So you've got developed a name, Fraser the Eraser Clarke. Talk to me about that nickname and how that came about.
You know what? I've actually got a clue because that's never came from me. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
The eraser, I don't know. I think it could have been a few people messing about one time, but
Yeah.
it might have stuck. I don't know. I mean, I go by the name of Big Fraser, and that's how everyone
Yeah.
knows me. Do you know what I mean? That's just what
Yeah.
people call me.
Yeah.
But if the eraser is what people want, that's not a problem.
Yeah, it's there. I've got here that you've had 42 bouts. You've mentioned that you're in the super heavyweight category. You've got some
Mm.
interesting fights on your resume. Um, Tony Yoka, 2009. Joseph Parker, 2010. Joel Joyce in 2012. You avenged the loss against Tony Yoka in 2014. I mention those because those are fighters that have been like yourself, been in the Olympics,
Mm.
and now have turned pro. Talk to me about your experience with those fighters, and we'll start with the first fight, Tony Yoka.
Yeah, Tony Yoka. You know, me and Tony, we're good friends. You know, I've known him for a long time. Like I say, 2009, the first time I met Tony.
Yeah,
Um, in a European youths in Poland. First time I'd been away abroad with with the boxing, and
yeah,
this is when I thought, you know what, it's starting to get real now. He was a big athletic, kid, same as well. He was more athletic than me, but we had
mm,
a real good fight, and I think I lost by a point. It was the old point scoring system, and it tells you how terrible it was. I think the score was probably 3-2 or something daft like that.
okay,
Um, so it just shows how far we came. But yeah, he's a good guy, Tony. Full respect for him, and his family. He's a nice guy. We always often speak to each other.
yeah,
Like I say, these people I've known for a decade. You know what I mean? It's a long time.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, I've boxed a lot of people. There's I don't know like where that stats from, the 42 fights, because I've had well over that. I've had well over 100 fights. And yeah, it's no, so that's all right. That's just what they've got. But I've had over, definitely way over 100, probably close
okay.
to, like I said, close to 100, 150.
Wow.
And most of them have been internationals. I probably had
Yeah,
between 15 and 20 club fights, and the rest of them have been from my country. So that's something I'm very proud of.
yeah. So you said you obviously Tony Yoka, you've known him for a while, since 2009. It was the old
Mm.
point scoring system. You lost on a point, and then 2014 you went on to win. Talk to us about that and your development from a loss to go back and avenge it and get the win.
Yeah, it's one of them things. Obviously this game is all about experience and time and experience. Nothing comes overnight. You don't become a finished article overnight, and you're always learning. So I boxed in 2009. It was the point scoring system, which I never really enjoyed, to be fair. And then I boxed him again 2014 in the European Union semi final. I
Yeah.
think I'd like to say in Bulgaria.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I beat him. I beat him well. I'd say I beat him well. It was close, but I thought I definitely won the
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah.
Um, with two people by this time, we'd seen each other around the block
Hmm.
loads of times, training camps, competitions, and
Mm.
he'd always had that one over on me, and I was gagging to get it back, and I was
Yeah.
very happy when I did. I was very happy when I did, and then obviously, the 2 years later, I think it was probably like probably 13 or 14 months later, he goes on to win the Olympic Games. So it just shows you,
Yeah,
it's crazy. That's how boxing is.
yeah, yeah. And then you had a bout with Joel Parker, 2010. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, Joe Parker, another great person in boxing. Someone who I get on with well, speak to obviously, online and stuff.
Yeah,
He's an entertainer, great guy. Back then when I fought him, it was in the Commonwealth Federation tournament in New Delhi, India.
yeah,
Yeah, that's when it was. That was like I think the first time I'd gone away with GB, so that was a big thing for me. And another, I can't remember it too well, but I know it was a close fight. I'd done my ankle running about 2 days before and had it
hmm,
strapped up. I was nervous as hell, and I think he was just a bit more mature than me. And
okay,
and he just nicked the fight. But another good one, and you know, obviously he was a pro not too long after that, so
yeah,
I never got a chance to avenge it. But
mm.
never say never. I'll be a professional within 6 months' time. So maybe in a year's time, 2 years' time, that could be a fight down the line. Who knows?
You're taking me exactly down the path that I'm trying to get to with you. But before we get there, talk to me about your experience fighting Joel Joyce. Joel Joyce is a name that's
Oh
really, how can I put it? A name that's been there for a while. A name that's
yeah.
been mixed up with, Anthony Joshua at the
Mm.
Olympics. A
I boxed. I,
household
I boxed.
name.
I boxed Joshua as well.
Yeah, we could
I
talk
boxed.
about. Tell me
I
about that.
boxed. I boxed Joshua 2009.
The same year as
Yeah,
Tony Yoka.
as same. No, 2010. I boxed Joshua.
Yeah,
2010 November. Yeah. Yeah. I just on my local club show. I was supposed to be, but I was sold. First time I was going to box in my hometown, so I sold loads of tickets.
yeah,
And I was supposed to have a guy from down the road who I knew, and I thought, you know what, I'll look quite good against this guy.
yeah,
I sold all these tickets.
yeah.
He pulled out a couple of days. He pulled out a couple of days before. So I remember I said to the coach, "Look, you need to get someone, otherwise I'm in trouble
Tickets.
because I've sold
Yeah.
all these tickets." He's gone. Look, I'll get you. I said. He said, "Who?" Like, no. I said, "Just get me anyone. I'll box anyone." Anyway, he pulls this kid in. My God, he walked into the change. You're in little change rooms with the scales this way, and my God, he walked in. He walked in. He just had the muscles. He had muscles coming out of his eyebrows. He had muscles everywhere. And I was this little fat thing with I had little boobs and that, um, but little man boobs. But no, yeah, we were probably very poor at this time, skill wise. But from what I remember, it was a very good fight, another real close one. He just nicked it by a couple of points.
Wow.
Um, but it was a good fight, entertaining, and another one where I've been friends ever since
Yeah.
since that day. Since that day, so it's crazy. And then Joyce, oh my God, I think the only word to describe mine and Joyce's relationship is absolute bogey, man.
Yeah.
I've threw the kitchen sink at him, and it was never enough, to be honest. He was a
No.
very fit, strong man. He always had that maturity on me. Um, he could take a great shot, and couldn't half dish it out back.
Mm.
Um, I always enjoyed boxing Joe because it was just a massive test for myself.
Yes.
Um, but like I said, I just never quite got. There's one time I probably think I should have won one of them. We boxed the GB Championship, but other than that, I was beaten. I was well beaten on the other ones, to be fair. But
Yeah.
always a good entertaining fight. People that have ever seen me and Joe go at it in a
Yeah.
competitive fight, they'll tell you how good it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
because that they're just fights I was proud to be in because he was
Mm.
he's a formidable opponent and great geezer, a really nice person.
He's quite relentless, isn't he? He just keeps on coming forward no matter what you throw at him. I watched you bout with him,
Yeah.
and he really hasn't changed. That kind of, he will just
Style,
keep
no.
coming. I think I agree with you when you say that he's
Michael
a bogeyman.
Myers.
Yeah. Michael
He's
Myers
like
of boxing.
Michael Myers, man. Honestly, that is Joe Joyce. Unless you take the head clean off, he's gonna come back.
So talking about him then, while we're on the subject of Joel. So what do you reckon his chances are with Usyk? Because they've fought before. So this time now, you know, both pros. Um, how do you see that fight going this time?
It's a difficult one, you know. Usyk's good, but for me, I think he's a bit small for a heavyweight. Personally, he
Mm,
might be able to, you know. I give Joe every chance, to be honest.
yeah.
You know, he's tough, he's strong, he's fit.
Mm,
When he fires the jabs and the 1-2s and gets that right, he's a difficult man to pin. Sorry, he's a difficult man to pin down. You know, over the 12 rounds, he
mm,
can be very effective. As you see in his last fights, he bust Daniel up with a jab. So you
yeah.
know, when if he lands continuous heavy shots on you, he's going to be a problem for anyone because you know he's a big, strong guy and
Yeah.
um, he's very much underrated, which is a bit unfair to him, to be fair, because
Yeah.
obviously he's done the great thing. He's done the Olympic silver medal and whatnot, and he's unbeaten as a pro. But still, I think it's just his style. You know, he doesn't look extravagantly good. You know what I mean? It's like it's not. There's
Mm,
nothing you say, wow, Joe George just did this, but it's effective and that it wins fights.
mm,
So you have to take your hat off to him for that.
yeah, absolutely. So back to yourself then and the plans for you so far. Talk to me about leading up to the Olympics and what you're hoping to achieve.
Yeah, I mean, leading up to the Olympics now, it's a crucial time, and
Mm,
I know in my head, you know, I don't know what other people see, what they don't see, but I know in my head that I flipped the switch. You know what I mean? Because there's been a lot. I've been here for that long. It's been
yeah,
difficult. It's been really difficult to stay focused for that long. It really has, and
yeah,
I'd say I probably lost my way a bit. You know, this last 3 years, you know, they haven't been my best. I definitely know that. I think I lost my way a little bit. Definitely, you know, I'm not afraid to admit that. But the
talk to me
fire
about
burns
that
deep now, and
when you say
it's
lost your
just
way.
I think you know I think I was sort of waiting and waiting and waiting for the Olympics to come
Okay.
back around, and then with injuries, ups and downs, you know,
Yeah.
um, like I said, I'm not afraid to admit things. Discipline, my discipline wasn't where it should have been, you know, for a lot of that time.
Yeah.
Life gets in the way, you know.
Yeah.
I had a daughter, I had a relationship, split up, you know, and then I've got a new partner in life. You know, life that's how
Yeah.
life gets sometimes. So
Yeah.
I'd say, you know, boxing wasn't where it should have been in terms of focus at times.
Yeah.
At times it was, at times it wasn't. But you know, I've sort of knocked that on the head now. I'm in a good, stable place in my life. Got
Yeah.
my new partner. You know, I've got an amazing daughter. I've got a son on the way.
Yeah.
So I'm in a good place, you know, mentally, and that really does help, you know.
Yeah. Fair enough. So the Olympics, obviously you're going for gold.
Yeah, 100%. You know, it's going to be one of them things. It's a real, it's the Olympic Games. It's the top of the top. You know, there's no
Hmm.
easy way about it. First of all, qualification. That's the first thing on my mind right now.
Yeah.
So I'm putting the work in now to you know to obtain my goal of qualifying for the Olympic Games, and then
Yeah.
we'll go from there, just one step at a time, one fight at a time, and you know once you get to the Olympics, potentially you know you're four fights away from being an Olympic gold medalist, and
Yeah.
you know. The one if they beat me on skill, they ain't gonna beat me on wanting to win. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And grit and trying to
Yeah.
and fighting because like I say, I'm from a small town or a small place, but we
Hmm.
don't half make tough people, and I like to consider myself one of the tough ones. You know, I'll
Hmm.
go through whatever I've got to go through, you know, to get that gold medal.
Yeah, definitely. So once you get the gold medal, what's next for Frazer Clarke?
Yeah, you're gonna see me, you know, in the pro game, 100%. It's something that I've wanted for a long time, you know, but obviously you can't turn professional, you know, if you still going to go to the Olympics. So
Yeah.
the program's waiting for me. You know, I think my styles over the years has adapted more to that.
Yeah.
So you know, I'm having to really work hard now to try with this Olympic style of boxing. But
Mm.
over the years, like I say, I've been swayed to the pro game and stuff. So I'm looking forward to getting involved in that.
Yeah.
I look at what's out there. I look who's right at the top of the tree. You know, to the bottom of the tree, and you know, I know whereabouts I can fit in on that scale, and I know whereabouts, you know, with the right teaching and the right
Yeah.
training, I know that I can, you know, I can compete right at the top of the level. So
Yeah.
you know, I'm looking forward to it, and you know, hopefully the people that, you know, listen to these podcasts and stuff, they can look forward
Mm.
to it, because I think, you know, as bad as this sounds, the one thing I've always been in is entertaining fights. No, you know,
Yeah.
all the names you mentioned before, Joyce, Yoka,
Yeah.
Joshua, Parker.
Yeah.
I think if you ask what them one thing about me, you know, it's never been an easy fight,
Mm.
and I come to win. So that's my gonna be my start. I think it's gonna be exciting. People are gonna enjoy it. But I do back myself, and I
Mm.
know that I can get in there, and you know, people are gonna say, "Wow, they can't believe this kid's been, you know, not been pro for longer." But
Yeah.
like I said, I took my choice. My choice was to go to the Olympic Games, so I've stuck with it, followed my heart, and
Yeah.
I've got plenty of time. I feel like I'm coming into the best form of my life and the best condition of my life. So you know, I think you know the pro game is going to come from it at the right time.
Yeah. So at the moment, then, with your experience with your sparring, preparing you for the Olympics, um, are you who are you actually sparring at this time?
I spar at the minute. You know, I've got a list of different people I spar with. I spar up and coming fighters.
Yeah.
Delicious, and Courtney Bennett. You know, they're two unbelievable talents that are coming through the GB system.
Okay.
Then I've got Solomon Darcy. He's in Birmingham. I spar with him
Yeah.
often. He was on the squad before.
Yeah.
You know, another great fighter, relentless fighter, just turned pro. Um, Richard Riatpour, cruiserweight British champion. You
Yeah.
know, I do some work with him. Do some
Yeah.
work with him as well. You know, Anthony Joshua. You know, I'm down Finchley now and then, or he's in up Sheffield in camp.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you know, I've got variety of sparring. Then obviously we have the international camps, so you get all the different styles coming in.
Yeah.
Whether that's me going to Europe or to America, you
Yeah.
know, so I get good sparring. I can't complain about the sparring.
Yeah. So you've got a lot of world experience through the amateur fight, and you've been able to travel the world, experience fighters from all over the world to set you in really good stead for, yes, getting that gold medal for Team GB, but also turning over into pro. There'll be amateur fighters that didn't go your route, that wouldn't have had the experience or the caliber of fighters that you have had the pleasure of getting the experience fighting with. So I think there's some,
100%. There's not a lot of people that will have that experience. Definitely
yeah,
not.
yeah. So I think we've got a lot to look forward to. Obviously, with the Olympics, I wish you all the best in that. I really want to see you come back with gold. But I've got to admit, you know, as a little bit more than a casual fan, I'm really looking forward to seeing you turn over pro. If I was doing this back in when Anthony Joshua went from the Olympics to pro, I would have been sat here speaking to him now. So I see myself sitting here speaking to you, a massive privilege because of what you've got to come. We're really proud of you, all of your work that you're doing. Just keep it up. And I wish you nothing but
I
the
really,
best.
really appreciate you taking the time out, you know, to speak to me, and you know, hopefully spread the message, and you know, I hope more people get behind. Like I say, more people get behind the videos and the podcast, and you know, give it the time of day, because you know we're all trying to spread a story, and you're just part of the people. You know, I appreciate you helping us to get that story out there.
Thank you. October Red on YouTube. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. And don't forget, at October Red, we stay ready.
See, okay, ready.